FIFA's world rankings, the Netherlands.
And this is how Louis van Gaal lines his team up. You heard the guys talking about their goalkeeper, Noper. Just his 4th appearance. The other 3 have come in this tournament. Does his inexperience at the international level play a part in this game? Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool, right in the back, 6'5". He will have an impact both offensively and defensively for this team. Frenkie de Jong runs the show in the midfield. You'll see him all over the field getting touches. And then up front, Memphis and Cody Gakpo, who has scored in every single game for the Netherlands. The United States, average age of 25, the youngest ever team for the United States in the knockout round. But this team has shown they can handle the moment. In the middle, Tyler Adams, the captain of the team, leads the team in touches, recoveries, tackles, interceptions. What I'm trying to say, he is important for them. And then up front, Christian Pulisic had the goal against Iran. He said, that's not the biggest moment I hope I have in this tournament. Does he get another one today alongside Jesus Ferreira, who gets his first start and first minutes of this tournament?
U.S. coach Greg Berhalter was hired for this job 4 years ago yesterday, and from day one in the job and every camp since, he has talked about changing the way the world thinks about American soccer. The honest reality is you don't do that by getting out of the group and just getting to the round of 16. U.S. teams have done that consistently before. If you want to change the way the world thinks about American soccer, you do that by winning this game against this team. And here we go. Underway. Round of 16 at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. It is the Netherlands in their iconic orange. It is the men of the United States of America wearing white. It's a U.S. team that came through the group stage without a loss. They shut out England, tied for the top scoring team in the entire tournament. They got the must win against Iran on Tuesday. And so now here they are trying to advance for just the 2nd time in team history to a World Cup quarterfinal against the Netherlands. Simply put, the Dutch are the best soccer playing nation to never have won the World Cup. 3 times they've gotten to the final and fallen short. And make no mistake, they didn't come here just to get to the knockout stage and see what happens. They said before the tournament, they have said during the tournament, they are here to win the whole thing. They similarly are unbeaten. They have not trailed at any point, and they are one of the favorites going forward to lift the FIFA World Cup. What's this thing going to look like tonight?
Well, the United States showing some good confidence in possession early here, playing through the lines, taking the ball under pressure. Using the ball is going to be key, something they've done very well in this tournament. The other part that I like to see early, aggressive. You don't want to see this team sit back against this Dutch side. Do what has gotten to you to this point, and that is staying aggressive defensively, also being disciplined, but then the unpredictability in the attack. That is how you will unlock this Dutch defense, moving the back line around and getting runs in behind and balls into the box.
And as you see, Lionel Messi in Argentina, or perhaps if it's going to be a shock, Australia await the winner of this game. They will face off later today here on Fox. Yunus Musah, shoulder to shoulder there with Frenkie de Jong, one of the stars of this Dutch team. U.S. gets a throw out of it.
That's going to be a fun match. Frenkie de Jong, one of the most high-profile midfielders in the world, plays for Barcelona. Yunus Musah plays in the same domestic league in Spain with Valencia, so fun to watch those two match up here.
Serginho Dest gets that cross in, not going to reach McKennie. Virgil van Dijk was there to get it away. Tyler Adams battling hard, trying to reset. Pulisic getting outside onside. Noper to save. The flag stays down. That would have counted on the field. Andries Noper, brand new goalkeeper for this Dutch team, called into action after 120 seconds. And a big collision there and a shout. Denzel Dumfries shouting in pain as he and Anthony Robinson collided.
Well, look, this is just his 4th appearance for his country. And as this ball comes in, it ends up being the 2nd one. I wonder if he's kept on side at the top of the screen. It is. It's Daley Blind late to step out. The ball comes in from Tyler Adams. And it's Christian Pulisic. What a chance. He was the hero in the last match. Pretty good contact, but it's close to Nopert's leg, and he's able just to react quickly and kick it away. But that's one that he'll want back. He'll know that's going to be a really good look. Not too many of those you're going to see today.
Zimmerman going long for Dest to chase. Virgil van Dijk will just shepherd it out. Louis van Gaal, 71 years of age, the oldest manager here at the World Cup. It's his third spell in charge of this team, his second World Cup. He's won more games than any manager in Dutch history. Greg Berhalter on the other side, his 60th game in charge. Told us yesterday it was mission accomplished. We had to win, and we did win against Iran. As Pulisic trying to combine. Oh, it's going to fall for Tim Weah. Pulisic picks it up. Kind of fun help on the outside. De Jong comes in to pick his pocket. It's Memphis on the outside. Tyler Adams there to shut it down.
Yeah, Tyler Adams, as you would expect. You're going to see him, as he has been all tournament long, all over the place. Now, the way that the Dutch have set up defensively, they're looking to try to hit the United States on counterattacks. Quick balls into Memphis. The same with Cody Gakpo. So 1v1 defending for the U.S. out in open space, important. And oftentimes as that defender, you have to try to slow them up and allow the help to come. That's what Walker Zimmerman did there. Tyler Adams comes back and makes the tackle.
Memphis couldn't turn on that one. Adams for Jesus Ferreira, his World Cup debut, getting the start in this game. Test from Musa. Weah's making a big run. Musa didn't see it. Musa carrying in. Deflected cross. Tim Weah is there. Weah trying to find an angle. Cycles it back around. Test had it knocked out by Blin. It's Johnny Infantino, president of FIFA, looks on here at Khalifa International Stadium, the western outskirts of Doha. Zimmerman able to steer it back for Matt Turner's first touch of the night. On his 50th appearance for the United States. Trying to start the sequence for Dest. Dutch born and raised to an American serviceman father and a Dutch mother. He opens it up for Christian Pulisic. Pulisic driving inside. Robinson, can he get around the outside on Dumfries? He recovers at a tackle, and the U.S. their first corner of the night.
Anthony Robinson's running off the ball is going to be key all night long. His ability to get up and down, matched up against Dumfries. If you force him to have to defend, it takes away one of the strengths of the Dutch, which is him getting into the attack, spreading the field. When he's having to track back 30 yards and make that type of tackle on Anthony Robinson, great relationship there with Pulisic. Slip pass and a corner for the U.S., something they have not been able to capitalize on so far in this tournament.
He is the tallest man in the entire World Cup, the Dutch goalkeeper, Andries Noppert, at 6 feet 8 inches. Pulisic in swinging ball. Ream trying to get there. He couldn't push his way through Dumfries, and it spins out for a goal kick. Well, that was the big question coming in, was whether Christian Pulisic would be available. As you look back at that shot he had early,
I think just a couple of inches to the other side of him, that's in the back of the net. He wouldn't have the chance to react and extend his leg with the power that Pulisic put on that. Went for the placement. His weaker left foot, although very good and comfortable on the ball with both feet.
38th minute goal that he scored on Tuesday against Iran. Collided with the Iranian goalkeeper as he did so. Pelvic contusion. He finished watching the game in the hospital. He's on the end of the long throw from McKennie. Driven cross. Meant for Tim Weah. Holding as far as Ferreira. It was Nathan Ake who got down with a clearance. Look at the speed from Tyler Adams to get to that ball in front of Memphis. For Pulisic, Greg Berhalter saying it's just a matter of pain tolerance. Part of the issue was he was in the hospital Tuesday night. They were trying to take his vitals, but he was watching the rest of the game on a phone, and so his blood pressure kept spiking as the U.S. held on for dear life in 9 minutes and 53 seconds of stoppage time and a 1-0 victory. Too much of that. Ream show trying to find Dest. Daley Blin coming forward. Memphis has it now, one of the top scorers in the entire world in qualifying games for this tournament. Cuts around McKennie, hits the shot, bounces off Adams' head. Gets the second header clear. Pulisic steers for McKennie. Ferreira's going to chase on Virgil van Dijk.
I think the U.S. get a little lucky there. Walker Zimmerman, instead of engaging with Memphis out in the open field, he's backing up. Backing up, was waiting for McKennie to come back and support, and allowed him then to get the shot off. It was a good recovery in the for the United States. It's just another example. We'll get back to it in a minute. I'll show you when the U.S. have some possession of how the Dutch are defending. The U.S. center backs and their passing is going to be very important in this game. They're going for man marking in the middle of the field.
De Jong spinning back and forth. Jesus Ferreira in chase. Memphis, Clausen, Memphis. Cody Gakpo scored in all 3 games in the group stage for the Netherlands. Force wide, Dumfries gets the cross, cut back, and it's a goal for the Netherlands. And it's Memphis who scores it.
Well, it's incisive passing and quick movement, dynamic movement off the ball. I'm talking about Dumfries getting into the attack. Here they go. They just cut this U.S. midfield open completely. Gakpo's so dangerous. Sometimes he drops off that forward line. Now he's running at the back line, and it's an early ball in behind that the United States had dropped off, looking for that one. It's a cutback ball to Memphis, and he just strokes it to the far corner. What a great finish from him. They've been coming into this tournament with a bit of a injury, had missed 2 months with a hamstring. They got him back. He's on the field. He is a difference maker. His 43rd international goal in 85 appearances, and it gives the Netherlands the lead against the United States.
And the U.S. trails for the first time at this World Cup. His legal name is Memphis Depay, but that name given to him by a father that walked out on him and his mom when he was a 4-year-old. So that's why he insists, I don't want to be called Depay, I want to be called Memphis. That's why that name is on the back of his shirt. Even when he goes through some of the pre-tournament work with FIFA and host broadcasters, they hold up a sign, they say their name, they take pictures. He does not say Depay, he says Memphis. And right now, for a guy that was an integral part of the Netherlands' run to the semifinal of the 2014 World Cup, he gives them an early lead. And Greg Berhalter told us yesterday, if we trail, okay, fine. We learn and respond. It's not the end of the game. We've seen plenty of teams get back into it from a losing position in this World Cup. That's what the U.S. is going to have to do now.
Well, it just shows you the fine margins, though, doesn't it? The Pulisic miss early in the game, the big save from Noppert. United States dominating for the first 10 minutes, but yet at this stage of the tournament, in the knockouts, you start to face teams of a very high quality. The one chance for the Netherlands, the first shot for them, and it's in the back of the net. So now, how do the United States respond? We hear so much about the character of this group and their ability to weather through storms and come from behind. We're going to find out a lot about this team now over the next 80 minutes plus. This is what I was talking about earlier, John. You see how defensively they split their forwards and they go man for man on our midfield, which has been the strength of this team. Musa, McKennie, and Adams, not wanting them to get on the ball and hurt you. So sometimes you have to go over or in behind. Here's Pulisic.
Pulisic now, he's got runners. Pulisic's cross behind them. Way is going to pick it up on the far side. Quickly for Dest, immediately closed down by Frankie de Jong. Former teammates, those two. Here come the Dutch again. Ream trying to recover. Took Gakpo a moment to get that under control. Robinson comes to slow him up. Here's Memphis, the goal scorer. carrying inside. He got the assist on the goal. He's forced backwards, and he caught Tyler Adams in the face, and the U.S. captain is down.
Dumfries comes inside from that right wing back position, and he's got his hand up trying to just feel Tyler Adams, ends up catching him. It looked like with forearm/elbow. Not a clear swing where you'd expect any type of card, but incidental contact. Certainly a foul, though.
Wilton Sampaio, our Brazilian referee, is just going to have a quick chat with Denzel Dumfries about it. Tyler Adams, 23-year-old from Wappinger Falls, New York, youngest captain of any team at this World Cup. This stadium, it's a track and field stadium, so the stands are far away from the field, but it's a lot of aluminum in here, and you can feel fans are stomping their feet, and we're sort of vibrating where we are up in the media tribune. Sticking his head in there to get a piece of it. Zimmerman cleans it up to Matt Turner. 4 hour in. Christian Pulisic saved on an early attempt just at the 2-minute mark. Memphis scoring his 3rd career World Cup goal in the 10th minute. The difference right now, one of these teams will win and face either Argentina or Australia Friday in the quarterfinal. One of these teams will be on an airplane home in the morning.
The United States need to be patient in their build-up with the ball. Don't try to force it through the middle. But when a team's playing you man for man in the middle like that, you know he's going to follow you wherever you go. So it becomes about opening up space for your teammates. If you're McKennie right now and you're Musa, you have to just come to grips with the fact you're not really going to get the ball in this part of the field, but make room for other players. Split the field a little bit. Ferreira can drop underneath, and you can find that next pass. Great work there by Anthony Robinson.
Robinson on the run as Darun completely missed in there. Robinson charging in, trying to play a pass. Broken up and cleared. Musa couldn't control it. Clausen takes it back. Gakpo's on the run. That's Blind all the way out to the left. Gakpo for Daley Blind, and he blasts it over.
A couple heavy touches from Yunus Musa, not like him. In the middle of the field, it's skipping away, and the United States are losing possession in key areas of the field that's allowing this Netherlands team to quickly get out and counterattack with numbers and numbers advantages. That's where they've been lethal, especially with the ball at the feet of Cody Gakpo, spreading it wide.
Weston McKennie first to the loose ball. Hands it off for Serginho Dest. What a big night for him. Is he going to catch up to that one? Can he keep it in play? Yes, he can. Dest on the outside on Blind. Got a cross in. No one there in a white shirt.
It's good work from Dest. I think that's a matchup the U.S. will like. With his speed against Daley Blind. 32-year-old man, experienced, but doesn't have the type of athletic power that Serginho Dest does. We'll see if they continue to find ways in down that right-hand side.
One of a number of former teammates of Dest on this Dutch team. As we said, Dest born and raised in the Netherlands. His dad originally from Brooklyn. He's in the U.S. military. His mom is Dutch. That's an outstretched foot by Tim Ream, does just enough. Let's get more on the Serginho Dest story. Jenny Taft down on the sideline. Jenny.
John, I pulled Serge aside in the tunnel before this one, and I said, what is it like going up against so many familiar faces, guys you grew up playing against? He said this game means more to me than any match I have ever played in. He had a huge smile on his face, and when we spoke with Greg Berhalter about Serginho and what he's meant to this group, he said, I love the way he's grown throughout this tournament. His maturity is there. He's been a difference maker. Hopefully tonight as well, guys.
Interesting moment there, and Anthony Robinson forced to give up the chase. Destu, from the age of 16, he was playing with USU teams. It was really only when he broke through as a pro that the Netherlands tried to get him to switch allegiances and come play for them. It is a part of the interesting dynamic. You think about Anthony Robinson, born and raised in England to an American father. Yunus Musa could have played for any of 4 different nations. Jesus Ferreira could have played for his native Colombia. He's a U.S. citizen for 3 years now out there on the field. Noper goes long. Zimmerman, powerful header. He came off the defender, Timber. Offside flag's going to come up.
Came off the defender, though.
That was clearly off the defender.
Yeah.
Bruno Pires, the assistant referee from Brazil, making that decision.
You can see for the Dutch now, they've got the goal. They've slowed the tempo down of this game, and they're only going to try.
Green misses it from an angle. That one's going well wide there. That was ambitious for Memphis, to say the least. And Cody Gakpo sort of letting him know about it right now.
Yeah. A flair for the spectacular. Memphis has scored some wonderful goals in his career, plays with creativity, always willing to try things, has been the difference maker in this game. Greg Berhalter talking to the 4th official about that last call, which, as we said, clearly came off a defender. And Jesus Ferreira has been in an offside position, but that brings him into an onside position when a defender makes a deliberate play at the ball.
For Tyler Adams.
Got 2 on the outside here if they can work this little advantage.
Pulisic. Collision, no foul. Julian Timber just stood him up there. Now the other way, Zimmerman over in front of Gakpo. And that'll work for a U.S. goal kick.
See the U.S.'s striker right on the midfield spot, Jesus Ferreira. He's trying to drop underneath to create space for others. Really the only way he's getting touches, because now you're dragging defenders out. That's what he did there, open up the space for Musa to get higher up the field. Just wondering how long Jesus Ferreira has in his legs at a high intensity here. This is his first game of the tournament. Hadn't played a match before this since October 24th.
That was when FC Dallas was knocked out of the MLS playoffs. He came in off a monster year, though. 18 goals, tied an all-time team record. We all thought he was going to be the starter here in Qatar. Here's Musa off the throw. Can he find Robinson? Again, it breaks down. It looked promising there. Van Dijk is forced to clear. Dropping all the way in to try to start a promising sequence. Way, who scored in the opener against Wales, hands it off wide to Weston McKennie. McKennie is trying to drive that into Ferreira. Ake got his foot on it. Memphis the flick for Clausen. U.S. trying to press back. Ferreira couldn't take it away. Musa does. Christian Pulisic. Way was making a run. Wide it comes for Dest instead. Lynn just backing off Dest now, giving him the space. Hands it off for Weston McKennie. Tim Weah back for Tyler Adams.
problem for the U.S. is when they have these possession in the wide areas and the Netherlands are sitting deeper, we don't have big bodies in the box when we're thinking about crossing. So it has to be those ones where you're getting it early, those early crosses in behind. I mean, their back line alone, 6'5", Virgil van Dijk, up against Jesus Ferreira. So you have to try to get slashing runs, play quicker in those spots. The slow, methodical moves and slow passing on the wings is really going to suit this Netherlands back line.
Dutch team that's got a long unbeaten run in World Cup games. A Dutch team that hasn't been beaten in any game in a year and a half. Dutch team that's led since a 10th-minute goal from Memphis. Berhalter was a part of that U.S. team 20 years ago that beat Mexico in the round of 16, advanced to the quarterfinal. Already some players up and getting loose from the U.S. bench.
There's no doubt in this game with the potential of 120 minutes, should this game be tied after 90, that subs will play an impact. They've played an impact all tournament long, every single team. You have 5 substitutions. And, you know, the guy right there, Weston McKennie, who has not been able to go 90 in this tournament, but U.S. will have to use their bench. If they're trailing, you're going to see guys like Aronson and Reyna. But there's a long way to go yet. This U.S. team doesn't look like they've panicked and not playing in that way so far, even though they are trailing after 25 minutes.
The reality is this group has been in situations like this. September of last year, they were playing a World Cup qualifier in Honduras. Trailed 1-0 at the half. They won 4-1. Earlier than that, June of last year, against Mexico, technically in Denver, might as well have been Mexico City. They trailed in the opening minute of that game. They ended up winning it in extra time in the CONCACAF Nations League final. This team has showed more resilience and grit than sometimes we give them credit for. As the youngest lineup the U.S. has ever played in a knockout game in a World Cup.
See how the Dutch have just squeezed? Oh, boy.
Turner gets away with it.
Well, as he told us yesterday, we sat down with him. We talked about one of his former teammates talking about, it may look out of control, but he's got it under control. I would say that was a perfect example of that. Thankfully for U.S. fans, is that heavy touch bounced up and he sticks it 50 yards up the field.
Way Dest able to control from behind him. Serginho Dest running forward, trying to find the angle for McKennie. It's going to bounce back to him. Gets sandwiched off it, though, by Darun. One back by Tyler Adams. Here's Tim Weah. Anthony Robinson clipping that one in. McKennie got a touch to it. Van Dijk just plays safe and wide. Daley Blind pops that in for Memphis. Frankie de Jong. Got Memphis on the run. U.S. trying to recover. Gakpo's in the middle.
Dumfries making a late run here. Nobody coming with him.
Memphis on Zimmerman. Help from Adams. Trying to cut it back. Memphis still. Second time to spin on Zimmerman, who pokes it away out for Netherlands corner.
Yeah, great work from Walker Zimmerman. Again out in the open field up against Memphis. And he did enough there. Grappling with him. You thought maybe Memphis had just a half yard to get a ball into the box. And he gets a toe on it and pokes it behind for a Dutch corner.
Cody Gakpo, the leading scorer, is the one to take it. Swings it in. Turner stays at home. And we'll do it again. That was last off a U.S. head.
I mean, also, almost every set piece, they're aiming for number 4, Virgil van Dijk. They got bodies that start around him. They try to just create a little pick and roll almost and create some space for him to get a free header. He's the big target.
6'5" star from Liverpool.
The U.S. actually have Anthony Robinson marking him. So height advantage there, but Robinson athletically can jump.
Gakpo Gakpo again into the mixer. Zimmerman won the header. De Jong trying to reset. Dumfries couldn't get up to it.
Here's another look at the goal, and it's a great ball from Dumfries. Because you're anticipating as a defender that that ball's coming in behind you and you're trying to recover back towards your box. You see both U.S. center backs, and they have to because there's runners there as well. It's the late trailer that's so difficult to pick up, and when you take it first time like that with his type of quality, it's a great finish, a cross goal. Turner, it's a tough save to try and make when it's hit like that. It's a really good goal from the Netherlands.
68 miles per hour is the conversion there to the kilometers per hour. Data provided by FIFA on that shot from Memphis. Good step by Tim Ream. Ferreira, oh, it's a dangerous one. It's Dumfries. Adams trying to shepherd him out there. Cross into the middle. McKennie's first there. It's actually going to stay in play.
Yeah, the U.S. are just, they look tired right now. I mean, they've just been defending a lot at a high intensity, tracking back rather, and then this is Ferreira. He's going to get that foul.
They needed that foul. They needed a breather at the 30-minute mark.
It's just come off some sloppy U.S. touches in the middle of the field that's allowing these transitions. That last one was Ferreira. The ball just kind of bounced away from him from the first one. Not a clean first touch. And second touch, the Dutch are in behind. It was the same cutback ball, too. This time it was Weston McKennie who got there first, though.
It's a U.S. team that left a lot on the field physically and mentally Tuesday night to get that win against Iran. They needed just to go forward. It's a Dutch team that really cruised through, was never terribly bothered, was never really in much doubt that they were going to reach the knockout stage. We talk about the similarities of your U.S. team in 2010 that got that dramatic 91st minute goal against Algeria just to qualify. How difficult is that to sort of restart the engine a few days later?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're riding on adrenaline, and you just keep this thing going. But playing a lot of minutes in quick succession like that for a U.S. team that really isn't that deep. That's one of the stories about this team. Very strong 11, 12, 13 guys, but after that, there is a bit of a drop-off when it comes to quality and the profile of player, because the success of this team comes from its ability to press and run and high-intensity sprints, getting in behind. So it'll be interesting how they manage it. What the Dutch have tried to do is just play a little bit more passively and say, hey, try and beat us with the ball. And the U.S. right now have shown an inability to solve that pressure with passing. Two center backs are going to have to play key passes in Ream and Zimmerman. And still, I just think they've got to try to turn them in behind sometimes and play a little bit more direct.
Robinson let that go over his shoulder. Gakpo picks it up on Ream. Boy, both Robinson and Zimmerman thought the other was going to come to get him. Tim Ream, the surprise man of this U.S. roster. And how solid has he been at the age of 35, carrying through into that pressure. Yunus Musa got a ton of green grass in front of him. Hands it off to Tyler Adams. We'll come back to the right for Serginho Dest. Carries in, trying to find the angle. Weston McKennie, can he get there on the byline? Yes, he can. Still in play. Resets for Weah. Ream trying to get Musa on the run. Nopert's going to come to get it. It is just the first of a doubleheader here on Fox today. Later, Lionel Messi and Argentina start their knockout round against Australia. That match will follow us here on Fox. Lionel Messi's last ride at a World Cup. Is this the time he can finally win the one trophy he hasn't won in his incredible career? Against an Australian team got hammered in their opener 4-1 by the defending champions France. Really impressive back-to-back wins over Tunisia and Denmark. Just the second time in their history they will play in a knockout game in a World Cup. That's coming up later here on Fox. And again, the winner of this game will play the winner of that game Friday, Lusail Stadium, where the final will be 2 weeks from tomorrow. Tim Ream again just carrying through, trying to start something. Dest.
That's where the space is, though. Not right through the middle channel where the U.S. have been trying to force it. And that's where Jesus Ferreira, I think, needs to recognize, too, to try to run out of that space either side of their midfield. They are clogging it up in the middle of the field, just taking any of that passing away from the United States.
Finds the angle for Anthony Robinson. Dumfries comes to meet him. Robinson, great find for Ferreira. Couldn't get a pass away from McKennie or Pulisic. Robinson wins it back on the outside. Can't accelerate to keep it in play.
Well, they got the look they were looking for, and that was because two U.S. players dragged the defenders inside. Anthony Robinson advances up higher on the left, and it was a nice ball in between and past the Dutch midfield for the first time really in the last couple of minutes in front of their defense. Now looking to turn and combine. They just couldn't connect on that next pass.
Tenth-minute goal from Memphis Depay. Call him Memphis. Here he is now getting dumped to the turf by Walker Zimmerman. The U.S. just one shot tonight. It was Christian Pulisic right at the 2-minute mark, forcing a save out of Andres Noppert.
I think from a Dutch perspective, this is exactly how they would have wanted the game to go. They get a goal in a transition, then they just are able to grind this game to a halt. They don't want to get into a match with the U.S., which is high octane. That favors the United States. So tactically, they've got numbers behind the ball. They're being patient. They're not pressing. They're staying disciplined. And they're saying to the U.S., again, what I talked about earlier, go and beat us with the ball. Cut us open. And they're not allowing themselves to get stretched. So there's a couple things you do for the U.S. You got to move the ball quicker. You got to try to move defenders around.
Timber there wins the header. Clausen the second ball. Adams just lobs it forward. Timber away a second time. And offside flag is up there. And Anthony Robinson tracking back. One of the things Greg Berhalter said to us yesterday when we met with him at the team hotel, so the difference in controlled games like this, and this is what he expected, is how you can quickly change speeds.
Yeah.
So can the U.S. find a way to do that?
They have the players to do it. They can play both ways. I'm not saying that if the Dutch take one away that this team can't be successful. It's just a different game than they've seen in this tournament so far. More like the England game as opposed to Wales and Iran.
Moose on the run from Jesus Ferreira. Anthony Robinson outside. Musa driving in. Pulisic. Robinson loops it up in the air. Dest the late charge. Blinn wins the header. McKennie first there. Memphis defending. Last man back is Tim Ream. Ream finds Musa able to turn. Ferreira's to his right. Ferreira's Dest outside. He was trying to go there. Was blocked by Blinn. Musa recovers it. Pulisic, space and time on the outside. Timber comes to meet him. Christian Pulisic to the edge of the box. Blocked cross. And out for a U.S. throw. Well, you called it, though, when Pulisic had that one save early. You said you're not going to get many looks like that. No. U.S. has not had a look like that since. Pulisic was blocked off it. Robinson trying to step in.
I also think this is a game, John, with the fact that the U.S.'s tournament, their place in the tournament is at stake. Greg Berhalter is not going to hesitate on subs. So I wouldn't be surprised at a sub at halftime. I think you could see potentially Haji Wright for Jesus Ferreira. I think you'll see them freshen up different places as they go. But this feels like a game for Gio Reyna or Brendan Aronson to come in the second half and really give this team a lift from an energy perspective, and also against a deeper lying team, guys that can find those little spaces and make a play.
And those are the players that are warming up down to our right now, along with DeAndre Yedlin. And Dyke with the strength there to hold off Musa to win the header. Adams picks it up. Here's Serginho Dest. Got the assist to Pulisic. Goal against Iran Tuesday night. Dest weaving through. Pulisic came to meet it. Cycled back around to McKennie.
So Greg Berhalter shouting there. He wants Christian Pulisic lower in this spot as he takes a foul. But he wants him a little bit lower to allow Anthony Robinson, their left back, to get higher and opening up space. So it's just about dropping underneath, then going high, then coming deep, then going high. You're constantly working those defenders.
Zimmerman for Anthony Robinson. Christian Pulisic. There's nowhere to go. Robinson, McKennie couldn't steer it off his chest to Adams. 5 minutes of the first half. Zimmerman going long. Pulisic on the run as his Dest. Ake's there with the header though. Clausen, De Jong, one back by Jesus Ferreira. Dest, little 1-2. Weah's round the outside. Tim Weah running forward. Numbers in for the U.S. Weah cut in. Ferreira spins it back. Pulisic's there. Pulisic. That's a bit too far for Anthony Robinson. He'll chase it down. Support from McKennie. Doesn't use a deflected cross. And it does stay in play for Noper to prevent the corner.
Just couldn't work an angle to get a shot off. Nice work, though, from Tim Weah and Serginho Dest on that far right side. They drew out Daley Blind, little combination ball, and then speed getting in behind. I do feel that's the area the U.S. can find success. It's been a lot down the left instead of the right when the matchups feel better to me on that right-hand side.
Green wins the header over Gakpo. Giroud the second ball. Dest the third. Weah brings it down. Great control on Ake. Turns to face him. Tim Weah. Blocked cross. Spins to stay in play. Dest able to control on Blind. Serginho Dest, little dance. Can he find the angle? Weah was drifting offside, it looked like. Dest 1v4, gets it back out to Musa.
I tell you, man, Dest is feeling it. Feed him the ball, get him in the attack.
Here he is again. Dest crossing in, stabbed away, only as far as Weah! Saved by Noper. Weah picks it back up. Weah's cut back cross. Clausen sends it away. Second save of the game, Andres Noper.
Tim Weah feeling it too. Taking a chance. This is difficult from outside the box to stay over the top of that ball and get the contact that he did and forcing another save from Noper. See if that gives the U.S. a lift here before the end of the half.
Weah back out for Ferreira. And Zimmerman mishits the ball out.
Well, Tim Weah has been a difference maker for the United States in this tournament. Had the goal in the opening match, and look at that. Noper sees it the whole way. It's not really swerving and moving, kind of cuts down on it, which you see just hits it on a rope like that, but still has to get across his goal, gets that hands on it to punch it away.
Ream knocks it forward. Ferreira missed time to jump. Serginho Dest once again. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go in the half. U.S. with momentum. U.S. with energy from the crowd. Can they find a way to capitalize to tie this thing up? Robinson back out wide for Adams. Not going to get there. Musa recovers it.
They've raised the tempo a little bit. That's where the success has come from. And then winning the ball back further up the field and keeping the pressure on. U.S. and Dutch actually averaging 10 times that they started attacks in opposing teams' fields. Dutch have not done that tonight. If the U.S. can do that, I think they can find success.
Dest from Weah. Dest driving in, sandwich still, Serginho Dest! It was blocked by Van Dijk. It was somewhat mishit off his foot. Lynn picks it up, trying to get Ream in a foot race on the outside with Gakpo. Tim Ream into the box, got to be careful. They stumble, they're shoulder to shoulder. Memphis has the step. Robinson intercepts as McKennie was scrambling back. Greg Berhalter urging his guys to go. And they might just need to catch their breath.
Now you said the frustration. Serginho Dest, everything but the strike.
Ferreira has Dest, comes to McKennie instead.
That ball recovery time, that speaks to what we were talking about there. The United States winning the ball back within 14 seconds of giving away. It's just in those spots, getting too impatient, falling into the trap of the Dutch once again.
U.S. can't concede here at the end of the break. One added minute. Dumfries set up the first goal, blocked by Ream. Hooked away by Ferreira. David Clausen's going to come to get it. Dumfries working on Adams now. Cuts back to cross. Blind is there. And the Dutch score with maybe the final kick of the half. Daley Blind.
United States pressure, United States momentum, Dutch goal. Same recipe from the first one. It comes off a throw-in. You think the United States have won it back here. Failure to clear the ball, and then 1v1 in the wide area, getting the cutback, and Daley Blind had already anticipated. And Serginho Dest, who had been very good throughout this first half, he just gets caught a little flat-footed here, and it's Daley Blind, who he had been getting the better of on the other end, says, hey, hold on a minute, young man. Ball in the back of the net, completely unmarked. Tidy finish, and that's the end of the half. Such a gut punch for the U.S.
First goal in 8 years for that man, and gut punch is the right word. Rob Stone in the studio in the Corniche. Coming up, 45 minutes down, 45 to go at Khalifa International Stadium. Netherlands 2, USA 0.
The 2022 FIFA World Cup halftime show on Fox is presented by Verizon. What a late dagger delivered by the Dutch. In the 22 times the U.S. has conceded first at a World Cup, they have never been able to rally for a win. We'll see if that changes. Coming up on the Verizon halftime show, we'll dissect both Dutch goals and look back at some of the U.S.'s best opportunities of the first half. Plus, we'll also get you ready for today's second match featuring Lionel Messi and Argentina. First time the U.S. has trailed at the half here in Qatar. 45 minutes for them to change that scoreline.
Davy Clausen are both taken off. And it's going to be Toon Koopmeiners who is on the field along with Steven Bergwijn. That's the one that matters most to all of you. Gio Reyna, 20 years old, has barely played at this tournament. A series of hamstring injuries in recent years. He was limited in practice leading up to the Wales game, appeared briefly in the game against England. He is on the field replacing Jesus Ferreira as the second half is underway. Just past 7 p.m. here in Qatar. 5 o'clock in the evening in Amsterdam, 11 a.m. in New York City, which is where Gio Reyna, not where he was born, but where he grew up. As he tries to get on the end of this, and Pulisic has it knocked away. The U.S. tries to fashion a 2-goal comeback here against the Netherlands in the round of 16 at the FIFA World Cup. What do they get with Reyna now on the field?
Well, let's see how he's used. He's a creative player. He can play the last pass. He can finish. Good close control as well. Weston McKennie's just going to throw this one in the box here. Long throw. So they're trying to put pressure on early. But Gio Reyna in that last play, John, dropped underneath. Pulisic ran in behind to stretch the field.
McKennie, long throw in. Zimmerman rising up. Noper got a punch to it there. Looks a little bit awkward.
Now on the Dutch side, they're subs too. They're trying to keep the pressure on the counter. They bring on Bergwijn, who has speed, and will look to just play those, get on those second balls and stretch this U.S. back line to continue keeping that pressure on when the United States, which I expect in the second half, to continue with a lot of the ball.
Reyna there couldn't bring it under control with his first touch of the game. And as irony and fate would have it, the last time the men of the United States came back from 2 goals down to win a game was the last time they played the Netherlands, June of 2015 in Amsterdam. It was a friendly, different kind of game. They trailed 3-1 with about 20 minutes to go. They scored 2 goals in the final 2 minutes to end up winning it 4-3. Can history repeat itself here tonight in Doha, Qatar? Ream with the header. McKennie the flick. Reyna was coming towards it and ends up past him. The return. Dumfries on the run. It's Bergwijn, the substitute, knocked away by Tim Ream. Robinson was trying to lay that off wide from Musa, didn't see it coming. Dumfries goes long. Ream sliding across. Just lumps it long. U.S. will get a throw out of it. Van Holitz, Edgar Davids to his right, legendary player. The man on his left,
just chilling, by the way,
is Danny Blind, the father of Daley Blind, the guy that scored the second goal for the Netherlands here tonight. Here they come again. Memphis on the run, running, and Zimmerman gets it away. It's a bit wide for Bergwijn. Back into the middle, the flick from Blind. Ream intercepts, gets it clear. Can the U.S. go? Because the Dutch are pouring a few numbers forward. McKennie's first attempt to pass is blocked. He's got Way on this near side, trying to get him on the run. Here's Way and out. Pulisic making his way in the box. Way out, blocked. U.S. corner on the way.
Well, after some nervy defensive moments in their own box, able to get up the field. Great work by Weston McKennie. Springs then Tim Weah using his speed down this right-hand side, and a great recovery run from Ake to stop the ball coming in, because Pulisic had made a darting run, trying to get on the end of it. Now, we haven't seen the U.S., again, score from a set piece or try anything different throughout this tournament. The one time, and it didn't work. Let's see in the second half what they do.
Pulisic lifted in. McKennie knocks it down. Ream is there. It's cleared off the line. Pulisic picks it up. Pulisic trying to reset the cross, and Nopert's there to get it.
Oh, wow. Tim Ream inches away from scoring what would only be his second goal for the United States. Flicked header at the near. Weston McKennie does well. Ream able just to cushion it with the right foot. And Noppert doesn't know too much about it. He's just trying to make himself big and close down the end.
Musa trying to slow him up as he hands it off for Dumfries. Koopmeiners back out wide. Dumfries once again. Freeze around the outside. Cross from Memphis. Turner, the save. Dest, with a man on his back, is able to get it clear. That was Blind trying to charge in. Pulisic thought he was fouled. No call. He was fouled. Whistle goes.
What a great save. Matt Turner reaction here, but it's been the same type of story. The United States, when the ball has been wide, it's Dumfries again. He's beating his man consistently. Actually comes off of Walker Zimmerman, and he has to react. But he has to make that tackle there because he has Memphis right behind him. Turner just trying to get anything on it. He does, and then it's Serginho Dest on the backside reacting first to clear it. But the U.S., when the ball has been wide and within 6 yards from the end line, just not doing enough and getting enough pressure on it, and the Dutch are crashing in front of that box.
Kenny Taft down on the field. What Greg Berhalter have to say?
Well, Stu just mentioned that pressure, and that was the message from Greg to his guys. We got to keep that pressure going, especially in the box. He pointed out to me, football's a cruel game. They had 2 opportunities. They capitalized. I asked him about Gio Reyna specifically. He said he needs to make sure he's playing between the lines, using that athleticism. Tyler Adams pulled all the guys together before they came back out on the pitch, saying no quit. The guys were fired up, John. They are not going to leave here without a fight.
Boy, Test frustrated after that effort.
Yeah,
slices
frustrated.
wide.
I think, again, the patience is going to be the key. This is another look at the goal. Daley Blind beating Serginho Dest on that play. Just defensively, just get caught flat-footed sometimes. They showed even the goal, the first goal as well. You don't follow your runner that one time against a team of this type of quality, and boom, ball's in the back of the net.
That was he and his dad, assistant coach for the Dutch and a legendary player in his own right, celebrating that as Daley Blind, just his 3rd goal in 98 games played for the Netherlands. 2 of them have come in a World Cup. Scored against Brazil in the 3rd place playoff, the 2014 edition. U.S. has got to find a way back. Anthony Robinson. McKennie tried to return it, came back to him, gets it away. Pulisic holding inside. Christian Pulisic running in. Pulisic on the deck. Noper, comfortable save.
Well, nice work from Weston McKennie. Gets the ball out of his feet, takes 3 Dutch defenders out of the play. And from there, from what we've seen from Noppert so far, it's gonna take more than that to beat him. Trying to bend it and pick out the 4 corner, but that 6'8" frame, as we talked so much about, he can get across his goal quickly, and it made it look comfortable.
3rd save that he's made, 4th shot on goal, including the one cleared off the line by Gakpo. Green there, whether he meant that or not, comes back infield. Adams able to find Anthony Robinson with it. Robinson's pass knocked away. Musa steps in, slides through, keeps it in play, gets back up on it, 1v4, gets it away for Weston McKennie. He's got some runners. That's Gio Reyna who has it out wide. Reyna keeps it in. Timber waiting to meet him. Gio Reyna cutting in, into the middle. Weston McKennie over the bar.
Well, the Dutch did a good job getting numbers back in the box, picking up the U.S. runners. So then Gio Reyna opts to pick out Weston McKennie at the top of the box. Great movement initially. Yunus Musa takes the entire midfield out. Then they get Gio Reyna open field. Right now he's surveying. You see the 3 runners? Everybody pretty static there looking for the ball. It's a tough strike for McKennie to take. Not a bad effort after it popped up on him a little bit, trying to stay on top of it. But some encouraging signs for the U.S. when they can move the ball quickly. They're finding some space in behind that Dutch back line.
Zimmerman wins the header, and the U.S. gets it right back. Matt Turner, first save of the game on the would-be own goal there a moment ago. Van Dijk will just shepherd that one out. So you'll see a lot from the Netherlands in the second half. They're going to try to slam the brakes on this game, take all the time off the clock they can. It's up to the U.S. to do something with the time there is on it. It's fantastic work. Gakpo working through around multiple Americans. Berg one returns. Robinson the interception. Now Robinson a little hop step and a jump to get away. Pulisic, Reyna, Musa's going to pick it up. It's too far, and Van Dijk cleans it up for Noppert.
was offside.
Bergwijn put a bump in. That's going to be whistled as a foul.
I thought Bergwijn might have been offside on this play as well when the ball comes from Noppert, but then ends up using his body just to hip check Tim Ream out of the way.
Gio Reyna's got Weah making the run. Weah trying to get to the end of it. Ake recovered late to head it off. Timber now under some pressure from Pulisic. Gives it back to Anthony Robinson. Tyler Adams. Robinson, that's McKennie. Can he get round Van Dijk? No. Virgil van Dijk, you saw there, he wears his first name on the back of his shirt as well. His uncle has said in interviews, same kind of a story as Memphis. His dad walked out on mom and 3 kids when he was young, and he doesn't want that name on the back of his shirt. He is one of the best defenders in the world, the most expensive defender to be transferred ever. When he joined Liverpool in January 2018, he is the anchor of a Dutch team, 8th in FIFA's rankings, with hopes of winning the World Cup for the first time ever, and a 2-goal advantage over these young Americans. 11 minutes gone in the second half. Either Argentina with Lionel Messi or a resilient Australia team would play the winner of this game in Friday's quarterfinal. Group minors. Glenn able to angle that ball in play. Zimmerman is across, though, in front of Memphis. He scored the opening goal in the 10th minute. Daley Blind with the final kick of the first half. Denzel Dumfries assisting on both for the Netherlands. McKennie for Anthony Robinson. In the middle, Pulisic called Reyna off, skips around one, foul, free kick US, and Christian Pulisic is slow to get up. He's down in some pain.
But it's good interchanging, attacking play there from the US, switching the point of attack. Then when the ball comes in, you see Gio Reyna and Christian Pulisic swapping spots. That opened up the spot for Pulisic to pick it up, facing the back line and doing what he does so well, which is getting past defenders with good tight control. Van Dijk dives in, gives away a foul, and a free kick opportunity here for the United States.
Christian Pulisic and Tyler Adams have been teammates since they were kids in U.S. youth national team programs. And one of them conjure up an opportunity to cut the deficit in half. Andres Noppert getting himself set.
Too far out for a direct shot, so you're looking for a second ball back across goal.
Listen, clipping it in. Zimmerman late run. Van Dijk up in the air. Ream knocks it sideways. Dest picks it up. Serginho Dest. Back for Tim Weah. Adams space and time. Adams will lift it in. Bodies are still up there, and Van Dijk rising up 6'5", skying to get it out. Robinson finds McKennie. Now Pulisic. And he's chopped down. Yellow card this time.
Same thing. He baits you in so well with this little soft first touch, so close to his body. And then, boom, he's going to accelerate away from you. And that's where Koopmeiners just comes in, gets caught again. So a set-piece opportunity now for the United States. It'll be a similar type of ball, but now this one you're not looking for a redirected pass. This one's going to be more in between where the Dutch have set their back line right there and the goalkeeper, Noppert.
Everybody back to defend for the Dutch. Pulisic drives it in. Reina was trying to get a flick to it. It's Gakpo that just blocked it with his body. Memphis trying to return on that touch. Dutch trying to get on the break. They got the numbers. They're 3v2. There might be 4v2 if they can go fast enough. Bergwijn forced wide. And good work by Anthony Robinson and Christian Pulisic. Adams couldn't keep it though. Gakpo blocked by Zimmerman, fell back to his feet. Robinson just went flying at it there. Memphis tipped over by Turner.
These are going to be the most challenging moments for the United States defensively in this game. The longer the game goes, the more they're going to have to push, the more they're going to have to attack and then defend in these situations. Turner, he sees this one through and he has to make that touch. It's going to be underneath the crossbar. Fairly comfortable save, but one that he has to make and palm over for a Dutch corner kick here. They've got 2v1. US need to get another man out here.
Taken short, Memphis. Gets the cross in. McKennie's there to the top of the box. De Jong lifting it back in. Turner comes and eventually gets it. Was going to get the whistle anyway. The United States with a half an hour to find 2 goals. Trying to keep this train going. Back in the knockout stage of a World Cup for the 5th time in 7 tries in the modern era, 1990 and onward. Only once have they been able, though, to win when they get to this point. That was 20 years ago. Gio Reyna's dad was on that team. Greg Berhalter was on that team. Landon Donovan was on that team. They beat Mexico 2-0 in South Korea.
Speaking of Greg Berhalter, you've got to be thinking about another change here soon. 30 minutes left in this tournament, potentially. Brendan Aronson, you've got to go more attacking. You can't leave it too late.
They get it away on the far side. Gakpo running in. Anthony Robinson slows him up. Dutch are howling. It should be a penalty.
Robinson still down after the play, both players.
We play on the other way. Comes across to Tim Weah. Pulisic continues his run in the box. Ake's the defender. Weah cuts it to the left foot. Weah blocked by Van Dijk. Weah couldn't use his arm to block it. Gakpo's still down in the box. Memphis carries on. Robinson moving gingerly in the play. Robinson steps in to knock it away. Gakpo limping back in now. Still we play on. Here's Pulisic. Options either side, and see the man coming. Dumfries there. And it's cleared away by Timber. Here's Gio Reyna. Seen some tired legs out there. Can the U.S. take advantage, though? Yunus Musa. Back for Reyna. And substitutions being prepared on both benches right now.
Yeah, it looks like Aronson and Haji Wright.
Josh Sargent, the only player unavailable, sprained his ankle in the game Tuesday, not dressed this evening. Lifted across to Dest, not going to get there as Blinn knocks it away.
Oh, Anthony Robinson's gone down. There's a look at the 2 U.S. subs coming on. Haji Wright, an out-and-out striker, goal scorer, and Brendan Aronson. So the question is going to be for who now, because you look at those guys that are out there, key players for them, but guys that are starting to get a little bit tired, losing their legs, losing their energy. This would also be a potential big loss for the United States if he has to go out just purely from a defensive perspective. Fastest player on the team, getting back. And when we're thinking about dealing with counter-attacking opportunities before this U.S. team could potentially find a goal, it was him who got tangled up with Dumfries down the other end. I mean, Anthony Robinson gets his foot in front, and then, you know, just Dumfries kick. Robinson kick Dumfries. That was a tight one. But the referee was right there and whistled no foul.
Well, Anthony Robinson remaining down. You hear him called Jedi. When he was a kid, his dad, Marlon, was a naturalized U.S. citizen, grew up in New York City, coaching his son's team, and he gave the kids nicknames. He let Anthony pick his own nickname, and he said in interviews he never actually seen Star Wars, but he had the Star Wars toys, and he liked the idea of being called Jedi. And you'll hear him called Jedi far more often than you hear him called Anthony. But what a player he's been for a year and a half. It looked like he was done with the U.S. national team, and he became indispensable. Robinson being helped to his feet now. Wright and Aronson are preparing to come in. "25 minutes plus stoppage time to go." Wright, 24-year-old from Los Angeles, was a part of the same youth group as Pulisic and Adams and Weston McKennie, but took until just this last June to get his first opportunity with the United States. Tim Weah scored that opening goal against Wales. He makes way. Weston McKennie, they knew he wasn't going to be able to go the distance coming off the injury. Been able to grind through it, though, to start all 4 games. His night is done, and Brendan Aronson, 22-year-old from Medford, New Jersey, just the other side of the river from Philadelphia. He is on. The U.S. back in off the throw now. Musa was trying to flick. That was a key block by De Jong. Aronson steps in to knock it away. Reyna trying to get in. It's out for another U.S. throw. Dest. Well done by Blinn, the veteran out there on the left. What a night he's had. Gakpo trying to release Bergwijn on the outside. Zimmerman has to play safe. By Zimmerman and Musa. Haji Wright's first touch. Brendan Aronson. And he is shut down there by Timber, and he fouls him.
That was good open field defending by Timber. Brendan Aronson trying to give him a little shake, and he just anticipated and then used his strength to get in front and draw the foul. I mean, just from a Dutch perspective, they've played a very controlled game. They've controlled it through their defensive pressure, their defensive shape, not getting drawn apart in big moments, and then using the ball, and then using just also an ability to grind this game to a halt. Walking around, using the time, using transition. If the opportunity's there, they go. If not, they're spreading the field and just frustrating the U.S. and working them to use pressure and energy to try and win it back.
And here comes the cross. Zimmerman gets it away. It was meant for Memphis. Dumfries looking for his 3rd assist of the night. There's a reason this Dutch team is number 8 in FIFA's world rankings. 18 games unbeaten going back to June of last year.
And a very, very experienced coach that has won a lot in his career. And even just the substitutions by him at halftime and keeping fresh energy in the middle of the field. He knew this U.S.'s team greatest strength was its ability to put teams under pressure, run with them, play at a very high speed, and he said, I don't want to play that type of game.
Hudson had a chance to go long there for Pulisic, trying to go short for Aronson, and it's given away. Dumfries running on. Robinson with the tackle, got to get back up to that ball. And Dumfries here to let it run out for a Netherlands corner. Well, this was the point in the game 7.5 years ago where the U.S. was able to start their comeback. And Can they do it again tonight? Gakpo sends in the corner. Van Dijk rising up. Header looping over the bar. Adams got there in front of Blinn. Able to find Dest. Dest by one, by two, not by the third. Gakpo spins around him. Dest steps in with the tackle. Can't get him off the ball. Back into the middle. It comes. Turner to make the save. The rebound saved as well.
What a save. It's going to be offside flag coming up. I'm not sure if Memphis was offside, though.
Let's give Turner 4 saves on the night, including that one that was going to be a would-be own goal. We've seen that flag come up. Trying to get the U.S. going quickly. Tyler Adams on the run. Gio Reyna right, trying to hold himself onside. It's going to be a tight offside decision. The flag comes up.
Well, it's Matt Turner, yeah, keeping the United States in it. We'll get a look if this one was offside. The first touch, see, I think he's on. I think he's kept on by the right foot of Walker Zimmerman there. That would have been a tight one and a save he has to make. The first one's good, the second one even better. How quickly he gets up and then reacts to get that left hand up and made it look so simple in the end.
The story's been told. 16-year-old dreaming of being a baseball player in New Jersey, watching the 2010 World Cup, inspired to shift his dreams to soccer. Walked on at Fairfield. Undrafted double save there to keep U.S. hopes alive with less than 20 minutes to go. Robinson in a tough collision on the outside. Anthony Robinson struggling in pain. He's going to continue playing. Here he is on the ball. Head right down the line. Goes back to Adams. So trying to spin away from Frankie de Jong. Again wants it down the line. And he sent Reyna forward. Here's Gio Reyna now. Van Dijk all the way out wide to defend him. Reyna cuts him inside. Gio Reyna was trying to curl that shot there. Got knocked off balance. It's out.
Yeah, I think he's hit as he goes to strike this one. He's holding his head. I mean, nice work just to glide past Van Dijk. And that's what Gio Reyna does best. Slaloming runs, gets defenders off balance. It would have taken a lot, though. Left-footed strike here, a little bit off balance. Does he get... It's just kind of a push, an extended arm, and he ends up hitting his head as he landed at the end of that play.
DeAndre Edlin, only player on the roster with prior World Cup experience. He was on the team 8 years ago. He's going to be coming on in a moment as Aronson wins it back. Reyna. We had Pulisic making the run. Okay, knocked it away. Here's Dest. Lynn right on top of him. Oh, Betts gives it away. Haji-Wright is in. Haji-Wright lost his angle, and it's cleared away.
Oh, the first touch lets him down here. He's trying to take it past the goalkeeper, Nopert. This is a blind ball from Memphis. Really bad mistake. Maybe it was meant for Van Dijk, but that touch there just takes him so wide that he loses his angle and his chance. Now, the strike was on goal, but he's just always recovering, playing catch-up after that first touch. Wow, what a look for the United States and for Haji-Wright here in the second half.
Second time tonight the U.S. has had a would-be goal saved off the line by a Dutch defender. Serginho Dest said this was the biggest night of his life. Had some great moments in the first half. Out of gas, and his night is done. DeAndre Edlin, the 29-year-old from Seattle, is on the field to make his 77th career appearance. Pulisic, the ensuing corner, lifted in. No one there in white. Yedlin with a key block there. Zimmerman recovers it. Yedlin resets. Pulisic's going to get there. Pulisic running into the middle. Took a touch. And it's in! The U.S. has scored! 15 minutes to go. Did Haji Wright get the touch? The United States a goal away.
Well, it results in pressure off the back of the corner. Great work from a man just on the field. DeAndre Yedlin, the awareness to play it to Pulisic. And now so much time and space, it's about decision-making and quality. Haji Wright gets across the front, any touch, and it's the touch that'll do. I'm not sure how, and that ended up in the back of the net. I mean, he just scuffs underneath it, and the spin of the ball takes it in at the back post there. The U.S. don't care how it ended up in the back of the net. They just care that it did. Game on. U.S. right back in it.
Where have we seen this before in the round of 16? And a U.S. team down 2 goals gets a mishit ball to cut it to 1. The difference from 2014 is they've got a lot more time to get the second. That was meant for Reyna. It was intercepted by DeJong, but they can't concede a third. Robinson knocks it away. Able to find Brenden Aaronson. Reyna got a piece of it. Pulisic, Ake hesitated. Haji Wright running in. Noper coming out, and he gets a touch into the middle of the field, and it just evaded Gio Reyna.
My goodness. I mean, Noper, his goalkeeping today has been absolutely terrific. 4th appearance for his country. All 4 have come in the World Cup at the age of 28, and the decision-making there to come off his line just saved a goal.
Here's Memphis, though, trying to roll that in, and no ankle available for Bergwijn. Man down for the U.S. on the other end of the field. Matt Turner, he's struggling right now. He wanted to go quick.
I mean, we can just talk about the fine margins of this game throughout. The miss early on from Pulisic. The miss from Haji Wright, the goal that he scored, and then this one here from Noper. Just how quickly he reacts. He's fully committed. He's gone to ground, plus probably a big amount of stoppage from some of the injuries that we've seen in this half.
Christian Pulisic on the turn. Christian Pulisic. Comfortable save for Noper, his 4th of the game. Pulisic was trying to lay that off for Wright. Aaronson the run to shut down the outlet pass. Wright, Aaronson, Reyna, advantage played as Aaronson was fouled behind the plate. DeAndre Yedlin, Aaronson wants it back. He's got his hands up right now in a huge pocket of space. It's Reyna that has it, sees him late. Across for Anthony Robinson. How about that first touch? Robinson's cross in, dealt with by Timber. United States corner.
The United States hired a coach for set pieces specifically. They have not been dangerous enough. Is this a time to use something from your tool bag and work a set piece to create an angle, to create a shot? Set piece coach is straight up off the technical area on the back of this. Little bounce of the ball from Pulisic. Let's see.
Pulisic already with 1 assist tonight. Looped in, Noper there to get it.
So frustrating.
Ten minutes plus stoppage time to go. Lynn going long. U.S. is going to be living dangerously at the back the rest of the way. Just the nature of these types of games. Yedlin steps in on Memphis, who's able to recover it backwards for DeJong. Lynn, who now is the game-winning goal with the final touch of the first half. Memphis looking for space. DeJong, Daley Blind gets the cross in. Free header backside. 3rd goal for the Dutch. Dumfries assisted the first 2, scores the 3rd.
sure not the only one feeling that way. It comes off a set piece down the other end, straight into Nopert's hands, and then Anthony Robinson, left back, tucked far too inside there. His man at the back post, two men marking one player, and it leaves Dumfries completely wide open. He's had a good game on that right-hand side, has the assist on the first goal for them. In fact, he has 2 assists on the day and now adds a goal. Greg Berhalter, and I'm sure many American fans right now.
Memphis will be subbed off. A World Cup debut for the 19-year-old Xavi Simons. Memphis with his 43rd career goal, 3rd at a World Cup, back in the 10th minute. So the U.S. started the game well. Christian Pulisic had the early save. They got 8 minutes plus stoppage time here. Can they get another? Can they just keep this going? Robinson able to keep it in play. Aronson. Greg Berhalter challenging his team at this World Cup to think about how in the final minutes of this game. Zimmerman for Anthony Robinson, and it runs away from him.
And I just think the unfortunate part for this team right now, it's going to be a case of what if, what could have been. A game of missed chances. Missed chance in the first half, Pulisic. Haji Wright, missed chance. Poor set pieces. Some of the defending that has happened tonight against a team that, look, they've dominated for long stretches. Just a Dutch team that has been as clinical as I've seen in this tournament. Chances that have presented themselves, playing control game, and just 3 good chances, 3 good goals.
Reina picks it up, turns it back, tripped up, free kick for the U.S.
But again, John, look, there's 7 minutes plus. I would expect at least another 8 potentially on stoppage.
That's been a big theme at this World Cup. Making sure we play the full amount of the game for time lost due to injuries like Anthony Robinson's, time lost due to goal celebrations. We've got a couple goals in this half. Here's Simmons just on the field, getting his first touch in a World Cup. Intercepted by Adams. Aronson closed down, gets it away quickly for Reina. Gio Reina. Brendan Aronson. Simmons defending. Reina returns. Aronson trying to return for Reina, was knocked away by Ake. Simmons picks that one up. Yedlin fouls him from behind. And again, the Dutch will take all the time they can. And in their minds, they're starting to think about a date potentially with Lionel Messi in Argentina. They'll play Australia in just a couple hours here on Fox in the other round of 16 game today. And the U.S. turn the tables. Tim Ream carrying forward. Reina forced backward. Robinson finds Pulisic in there, trying to accelerate. Christian Pulisic, angle for Haji Wright, and a late recovery by Virgil van Dijk gives the U.S. a corner.
Well, great spot here from Christian Pulisic. This is what Jenny was talking about, between the lines, picks it up behind that midfield and in front of the defense, able to turn, playing a nice pass, looking for Haji Wright, and another set piece for the U.S.
Pulisic once again to take. Big looping deep ball. Ream knocks it down. Zimmerman, the overhead kick, and it ends up wide.
I don't think anybody had a Walker Zimmerman bicycle kick on their bingo card. As this one comes in, that touch pops up, and that's the best option there, trying to get it up and over to get the foot above his head, looking for the bicycle kick in that far post.
29-year-old from Lawrenceville, Georgia, 2-time MLS Defender of the Year. Another guy in and out over time to be given the opportunity for the United States here at this World Cup, back in the lineup after Cameron Carter-Vickers got the start Tuesday. The U.S. will have their final roll of the dice for the bench. It'll be Jordan Morris. 8 years with this team since he was a sophomore at Stanford. 2 torn ACLs in that time. Bergwijn around the outside. Ream cuts him off. Who was a part of that team June 2015 that pulled off the miracle comeback against the Dutch in Amsterdam. Aronson gets out of there with the ball. Aronson, great little move and just chopped down. That should be a yellow card.
Frank de Jong going in the book.
Three minutes plus stoppage time. Morris ready to come into this, and Dumfries, the hero tonight for the Netherlands. 1 goal, 2 assists, coming out to defend him. Gio Reyna now. Reyna back for Wright. Able to hold off the defender and reset for Tyler Adams. Adams in for Reyna. Reyna tight quarters, pushed off the ball. Simmons on the run. Bergwijn in front of him. U.S. trying to scramble back here. This is Bergwijn. Dutch just trying to play keep away now. Wright knocks it off of Blind. 4 saves tonight. Andries Noppert, who exactly 0 people thought was going to be the starter for the Netherlands at this World Cup. He was expected to be the number 3. It's given away. Wright from Musa. Gio Reyna. Couple different options. Trying to find Wright in there. Koopmeiners read it well. Reyna wins it back. Haji Wright. Yunus Musa. DeAndre Yedlin.
You got 2v1 here. If you can get an angle, there you go.
Musa lifts across in. Ake's there in front of Wright. Yedlin. Clever idea to get it back inside for Tyler Adams. How much stoppage time is coming? Still Jordan Morris waits to come on. Yunus Musa. Reyna wants it to his feet. Musa cuts it inside. Rolled in, Aronson. Here's Reyna now. Tight quarters, deflected shot, cleared away by Timber. And Adams thought he had an option wide. Yedlin recovers to retrieve it. Christian Pulisic. Haji Wright, Pulisic couldn't dribble his way through. And Wright took a kick. He's slow to get up as Simmons escapes the other way. Steven Bergwijn into the middle for Simmons. The back heel return. Zimmerman defending. Got to be careful. Bergwijn. Clearance as far as Simmons. Back for Bergwijn. Round the corner. Robinson does the job. There's an offside infraction in there anyway. Is Jordan Morris even going to get the chance to get on the field? See how much stoppage time is coming. US need to conjure up 2 goals in the final seconds. We've seen it happen. Minutes to go. 6 minutes for the US to score twice and force extra time. Adams looking backdoor. Yedlin knocks it down. Ake's there in front of Wright and gets it clear. Zimmerman knocked into the middle. Adams picks it up. Kitchen sink time for the Americans. Just create goal-scoring chances however you can. Create chaos however you can. Yeah, Robinson sending it in. Ake sends it out.
You'll start to see more of that. And I think they should. That it's going to be a foul on DeAndre Yedlin. But some of the slow passing around the side, it comes a point. You stick a ball, long ball in the box. You fight for second balls. You hope for some knockdowns. You hope for set pieces. And the Netherlands are going to see this. Free kick, if you give them a chance, even a half chance to take some contact, they're going to go down. Jordan Morris is going to come on now for Anthony Robinson. So defender off, forward on. Last chance to Loon.
Tremendous tournament for Anthony Robinson. And his teammates mean that it continues as Jordan Morris is on for his 51st all-time appearance. And 2nd here at this World Cup. Dutch are going to make 2 substitutions as well. Matthijs de Ligt, who we thought was going to be a starting defender for them, started the opening game, hasn't been seen since. He and Wout Weghorst will come on for them. Lifted over. Pulisic on the run. Noppert retreating. Pulisic cuts it back. Awful lot of orange shirts back there. Musa cross for the United States.
And keep in mind, too, subs typically add time to that extra number. So it's a minimum of 6 minutes that we'll get here. There should be a little bit more than that.
There's Yunus Musa. Reyna comes to get it. Musa keeps it. Going to ground there with Simmons. Didn't get there. Musa cutting back to cross. Didn't find Aronson. Key block in there by Frenkie de Jong. And here come the subs for the Dutch. Okay, he was getting kicked around. His night is done. Milk this clock as much as they can. This is up to Wilton Sampaio to make sure he gives the appropriate amount of time back. Cody Gakpo, we thought he was going to be the key man. Came in having scored a goal. Aronson trying to turn. Can he spin away? Last man back is Tim Ream. About 3 minutes to go for the U.S. to try to find 2 goals. Reyna. Can he get around the outside on Blinn? Yes, he can. Lifting in the cross. Morris was in there. Couldn't get contact. Coop Miners held in by Aronson. Reyna's header into the middle. Musa blocked. Van Dijk got his body in the way. Spinning ball that Adams controls. Adams forced backwards. Zimmerman, they're trying to find Aronson. He's got it now. Brendan Aronson cuts it on Blinn. Brendan Aronson trying to go the second move. Couldn't do so. Reyna couldn't get there in time. And then Berhalter off the turf there, misplays, trying to get that quickly into Reyna. Adams, Reyna, big tackle by Simmons. Reyna skips away. Reyna lifting in the cross. Right rose up, but it skips off the top of his head. Yedlin controls on the other side. Yunus Musa has it now. Zimmerman's come forward. He's got to lump this thing in the box. 2 minutes at least. Yedlin needs someone to throw it into. He's trying to find Pulisic in there.
It's going to go to Reyna.
Reyna, little back heel flick. Zimmerman got knocked down. Ream able to reset wide for Yunus Musa. Given the space and time, Musa low cross sent away by Timber. Ream with whatever he has left in his legs, able to get there first on Weghorst. Matt Turner sends it long. Zimmerman the target. Couldn't get his head to it. Glenn picks it up.
Oh boy, look out.
Bobby Simmons now. 1 minute at least. Just running to daylight. Moore is trying to chase him down. And for the Dutch, their hopes, their dreams of finally winning the World Cup will stay alive. Louis van Gaal said, we don't go to play, we go to win. They've never won the World Cup. Maybe the best nation on earth never to win the Men's World Cup. So they have a date with Lionel Messi on the way. Can the U.S. cause some chaos late? Oh, it's an Aronson handball, says the referee.
Yeah, look, I think just this young team, there's a lot to have been proud of from them. And if it ends here, this young group, second youngest at the tournament, gave this team and lack of a number 9, a striker that can finish off plays. That was a difference. Look, the U.S. possessed well. They created good chances, equal in shots, shots on goal, you name it. They gave the Dutch a lot throughout this match, but it ultimately was not enough, and the Dutch had that clinical finishing edge, and it's them moving on to the quarterfinals.
Plenty more post-game coverage to come to wrap up the World Cup for the United States. We'll send you back to Rob Stone and our studio set in the Corniche as it finishes at Khalifa International. The Netherlands 3, the United States 1.